Hello, everybody. Welcome to Frontline Football. So today, I was thinking about stuff like the true intellectuals do, and I discovered this one fact about one sport, which almost every single person, or everybody in the upper class seems to know how to play: golf. I was thinking about golf more than they should think about golf. And I thought about this. Golf is so boring that the creators of golf want you to play the least amount of their game for you to win the game. Because in every other sport, you can hear athletes going, "Oh, I wish I had like one more minute or something." But in golf, you just hear the golfers like, "Yeah, I wish I did play as much of the game as I did. That wasn't as fun." So just a random thought for you guys. Welcome to Frontline Football, your one place for your news, rumors, updates, and highlights. And before we roll the intro, I just want to introduce our kindness challenge of the week. Because we are doing it. So, for this kindness challenge of the week, I want you to go tell one person with social distancing guidelines, wear a mask, put the germs, get vaccinated, all that stuff, or email, text, call. Tell them how much they mean to you and how thankful you are for them to be in your life. So, I've been Josh from Frontline Football. Let's roll the intro.
Welcome, guys, to Frontline Football. We're gonna have a good story to start off the day or night or whenever you're watching. Is gonna be Orlando Brown to the Chiefs. This trade happened a few days ago or a week ago. I don't remember. But the Ravens got their first round pick for this year and a fourth round pick for this year also. So, and then what the Chiefs got is their second round pick. So I think the Chiefs really won in this trade. So yeah. I'll start off with my take. I think that the Chiefs really robbed the Ravens of what they could have gotten. Orlando Brown's a good left tackle, and the Chiefs had literally just built their O-line in 1 year. It took the freaking what's that team? Colts like fifth. It took like so long to get a freaking line for Andrew Luck, and then he retired. And the Chiefs get him 1 year because they saw what Mahomes did in the Super Bowl, even though they just held the ball for too long. Jack?
This trade is just not good in my books for specifically the Ravens. The idea that the Chiefs get not only a franchise left tackle, you also got to remember Chiefs are their freaking competition most cases. Like, that's going to be who Lamar's fighting for, like, Super Bowls and playoffs and all that. And the idea that you just also gave them a second-round pick, too, it's absurd to me. I don't see the value. I think it should have just literally been a straight up 31 for Orlando Brown. Why are you giving them seconds? Why are you letting them recuperate their draft capital? Because a late first is basically an early second to them, and you gave them another second. You're giving the competition more ammo, and you're not really weakening them. Like, at least if you would have gone it for like a straight up first round pick, you would have weakened them a bit because they wouldn't have another pick in the draft, but you would still be giving them a tackle. But now you're giving them a second-round pick and a franchise left tackle? Get out of here. Bad trade, in my opinion, for the Ravens. Chiefs, freaking, what a steal. I don't know how they rebuilt their O-line in like a season, not even half a season, in like 4 months. It's been 4 months since they cut both their tackles, and we said they were screwed. They completely turned the page. It's insane. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Okay, I have one question. Is their GM doing like some kind of Madden challenge or something? Both your left tackles and then get two more out of nowhere? Because it seems like this guy is playing on recruit difficulty. He just turned the sliders all the way down. Because the Ravens, you guys are idiots. Even O'Brien would have told you to back off at that moment. Because he even knows you need your franchise left tackle. He overtraded for one. At least he actually got something for the Texans. But you guys didn't get anything. You actually gave the competition more than what you got. You got just a measly pick. And you gave them a second to take your franchise left tackle. What are you doing? This is your competition. for the AFC. Have you guys lost your minds or something? You have to these people. So why did you just give them all this draft capital that they didn't need? So that's my take.
All right. Jack, you want to talk about what's going on?
All right. Julio Jones. He's been in the trade rumors lately. So he has been rumored to be on the move. Some teams have checked in on his current situation. So it's an interesting. We don't know who checked in or how they checked in, but I'll give Zach the opening for this. What are your thoughts?
Okay, hopefully that echo thing is gone. But Julio Jones, very good player. People have been saying the Packers, but the Packers would actually have a horrible cap situation if they did that. And if they do trade Julio, they will take a bad cap hit for this year. But this will actually save them money in the future, like if they trade Matt Ryan this year. But yeah, they'll have a cap hit because they gave them a lot of money when they were in their prime. But this will actually be a really good trade. Hopefully, they can get like a first-round pick or 2 first-round picks at that because, yeah, they'll get some good value out of Julio Jones. And they could probably get like another first-round pick, probably from like, who's a receiver team? Maybe the Ravens might take him and then give him like their Chiefs pick. Who knows? Like they could do whatever they want with Julio. A team that's desperate for receivers will take Julio and they'll give him a first round pick or 2 first round picks at that. Josh?
Okay, I think that this could actually be the perfect storm for the Falcons to get back to their 2016 form. Because if they trade away Julio, he's worth a first round pick or 2, if not 2 first round picks, maybe a first and a second. So that gives you picks right there. You also have the 4th pick of the NFL draft. You've already said you're not taking a quarterback. So when you trade down with that pick, you're getting more draft capital from a team who is desperate for a player. Just look at what the Jets gave to the Colts for number 3 to get Sam Darnold. You're going to be getting a like that, where you're going to be getting boatloads of picks, and you are going to be set for the future. So just look out for trades because Falcons, you may be returning to the Super Bowl a lot quicker. Hopefully you don't choke this one, but good luck, Falcons, on your rebuild. So, Jack, what are your thoughts?
Julio Jones. I'm curious what the value is for Julio Jones. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it's at least a first just because he's such an elite receiver, but he's a little old and banged up. I'd do it for a late first, probably. Maybe like a late first and a third, which is a pretty good deal in perspective for the Falcons because you could get a Julio Jones-esque guy right there and like a Terrence Marshall if you wanted to. But another thing you keep in mind is you also have the 4th overall pick, so Jamar Chase is definitely an option if you're going to trade Julio. So at this point, if I'm the Falcons, I really consider it just because you're at 4 at this point. You could easily get Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase. There are a lot of good options to get you better and younger. But Julio, I think it's time for him to go to a Super Bowl team that's ready to go because I think he could be a massive read and option for a quarterback, especially for one that needs it. Baltimore is specifically intriguing, but I'm not sure how the cap works out because there could be dead cap if the trade isn't executed or is executed by like June 1st or something. So it just depends on how you're going to able to maneuver the cap. But overall, I think you should ship Julio Jones out because you're in opportunity to grab a younger playmaker there at 4 specifically. You'll basically have a lot to address that. Plus, you're in a rebuild at this point. Or you're in win now. Falcons are weird, but either way, a pick is beneficial. Especially for Julio Jones, you get to get at least a first and another pick on top of it. It'd be a nice addition for any team.
If the Ravens did trade for them, they would not take that bad of a cap hit even if they signed him because they have $15 million cap. So they'll be fine. But yeah. With our next story, Josh, you will be taking this one over. It's a retirement.
Dallas Cowboys linebacker of 11 seasons, Sean Lee, has just announced his retirement. Now, because my team is in Houston and my team is in the close proximity, basically about 6 hours from Dallas, I'll take the story. So I believe that this was coming for a while. Leighton Vander Esch had already taken his job, and he was just writing his career. He had a good career when he was healthy, but he had 5 ACL tears in his career. His leg is basically nothing now. 5 ACL tears, you just can't come back from that. And he's 30. So he lost his job to Vander Esch, and he has 5 ACL tears. He was not going to be for any longer. So any Cowboys fans who thought maybe he'll come back next year, I'm sorry, no. He wasn't going to be coming back. He really just should have retired after Vander Esch took his job, but he was more of a mentor figure in the locker room, and I get why he did stay, but I really think that he probably should have just retired after, I would say, 2017. So, Zach, what are your thoughts on the story?
Sean Lee was actually a pretty good player. I think that Vander Esch, I think Sean Lee still played when Vander Esch was, either when Vander Esch was injured or when Vander Esch, they either made him a right outside and then they made Sean Lee a left outside. They still use Sean Lee very much. It's just Sean Lee won't be a Hall of Famer probably. And I know that some Cowboys fans are going to get a little pissed by that, but it's true. Sean Lee had a good career, but he was injured too much. If he stayed healthy, his career would have been way better. So it's nice that he retired, especially after all those injuries. So yeah, and he gets to retire as a Cowboy. So that's pretty cool. Jack?
It was time. It was time for Sean Lee. For one, Vander Esch and Smith really took out his role, and we've seen gradual regression from him over the last 3 years. And this year, he literally had a 34 PFF grade and like 10 tackles in total. Like it was pretty bad. He wasn't lasting on the field this year, so there was no way he was going to make it realistically to the year after this one. And overall, his role, they had to replace him. He's old, and he's struggled with too many injuries to truly be ready to be an impact veteran player on any team at this point. It was a good run for Sean Lee in Dallas, and I wish him the best of luck in his retirement.
All right. With our next story, we will be talking about another trade, but this is not a rumor. Jack, you will be taking this one.
All right, Ereck Flowers is on the move. He's going back to the Washington football team for pennies on the dollar. And I guess I'll open up with the take. And it's like, this is just, Ereck Flowers had a surprisingly good 2019 campaign in Washington, ironically enough. He got paid to come down to Miami, and he reverted back to the Ereck Flowers we know and love, revolving door. He gave up a bunch of sacks, and he wasn't great, but now he's going back to Washington. Maybe the offensive line scheme fits him better there or something, but overall, this was a whiff free agent signing by Miami. Weirdly enough, one of many. They also traded Shaq Lawson, a guy they just signed as well. So that free agent class that they had last year is weirdly coming undone, but luckily they have some younger players that were able to step up and kind of fill the role. Van Noy as well. He was also a free agent that got cut. So it's strange, but Ereck Flowers wasn't great. I'm not sure how this I don't think this influences much because he's not that good of a guard. I think Miami still needs to consider all options. They have 2 first-round picks, and I'm curious what they do. You could go Penny Sewell, Rashawn Slater, and then go Bateman, Terrence Marshall, Kadarius Toney with 18, or you could go reverse and you could go Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith at 6, and then go with a lesser end tackle, Tavon Jenkins, Sam Cosmi, and there's one more out of Michigan that will probably be there in that range. So that just depends. I do think you should focus on offense, though, if you're Miami, and now you need another starting guard, I guess. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Well, with this, I do think that with their first pick in the draft, which is at 6, they will be taking probably Jalen Waddle because there's a lot of reports saying that Waddle will be going before Jamar Chase if the Dolphins are picking the first receiver off the board. Then Waddle will probably be their option, which he's a solid option. Um, but yeah, I think it's either gonna be between Waddle or Sewell. If Sewell's still on the board and the Bengals pass on him, then I think that the Dolphins should just jump on that and then get like Darius Toney or Terrence Marshall in the with their 18th pick. I think they have 18th. So yeah, they have 18th because Raiders has 17th, Cardinals has 16th. So yeah, that's mostly my take. So Josh.
Okay, so I do not believe that they will be getting Penny with their sixth pick because he's already going to be offered. If you've seen Joe Burrow's knee, that is just to show that he needs an offensive line. So Penny is not getting past 5. NA draft analyst says that he has not really seen how much an offensive line can affect the game. So I believe that they probably will be taking Waddle with this pick and a tackle or guard, maybe somebody like Vera Tucker or something in that next pick because Miami has shown they can't sign a free agent to save their life who's actually good. They tried multiple this year. They were cut or traded. And with it, you got a aging Benardrick McKinney and a lot of dead cap. So good luck, Miami. You better draft correctly because Bill O'Brien gave you all these picks. And if you don't even make the playoffs, let alone win a Super Bowl with these picks, you will be the laughing stock of the league, more than the Houston Texans. You had to draft. Bill O'Brien gave you a T-ball level trade, and all you had to do is draft correctly. So if you don't draft correctly and at least make it to conference, you will be laughed at by the rest of the league. So this is a proving year for the Dolphins. I think that that GM and Brian Flores need to make this team go to the playoffs. Yeah.
All right. Jack, did you say your take?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna be taking over the story. It's gonna be trade ups, trade downs, and what are the Niners gonna do with that third pick? Okay, trade ups for me. I'll take over this one. Maybe I'm thinking Lions might trade up to get Trey Lance or Justin Fields. I think a trade down person is the Falcons, and also I do think the Lions can trade down also. They're in this oddball situation. I see another team that could trade down, which is the Panthers, and then finally one team to trade up. I think is the Arizona Cardinals to either take Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn because they just need corner on that team and maybe a little O-line help. But corner's the biggest need right now. So yeah, and then with this situation with the Niners, like, will they take Mac Jones? Will they take Justin Fields? Or will they take Trey Lance? If they're in like a win now mode, like, and I think that they are, they're gonna take Justin Fields, of course, because Justin Fields is such a good player and he can move like he's coming out of college and he looks such like a polished quarterback. Not like as polished as like Trevor Lawrence, but he's still a really good quarterback, and I don't think you pass on him. So I think what the Niners have to do is get Fields. If they think, hey, let's just get a guy like Trey Lance or Mac Jones, sit him behind Jimmy G, then we wait. But I don't think they should because they have so many rookie contracts like Nick Bosa and stuff that they need to win a Super Bowl with this rookie roster that they have right now. So Justin Fields is probably the move on Thursday. Jack?
So I'll give 2 trade ups, trade downs. First, let's start with the Niners. I don't know what's going to happen with the Niners. I don't think anything's set in stone yet, but I still find it. Wilson's 2, Trevor's 1. I struggle with the idea of Fields not going to the Niners. I get it. you guys, apparently there's interest in Mac Jones and Trey Lance, but it's like Trey Lance has thrown 300 total passes in his career and hasn't played football in 16 months. And Mac Jones has played a year of starting at a high-ish level with the best to do it in college football with Saban, Najee, and all those guys. Like, when you look at Justin Fields, we have like 3 years of elite tape. Like, we got him playing a national championship, beating Trevor Lawrence. He does it all. He's been there. He's an elite quarterback on paper, and it looks like he has the intangibles. He has 4.3 speed. He's got a nice arm. I don't get it. I don't get why Justin Fields is falling. Is it something to do with scheme? I'm not 100% sure. But all I know is when I look at Fields, I see an athletic freak that can run around, that can throw the ball incredibly deep. He has it all. Like, I'm not sure what I'm missing here from a franchise quarterback. Maybe there's something that's concerning on the film that I don't see. But when I look at Justin Fields, I struggle to see how he's not the third overall pick at this point in time. As for to trade down, I think the Falcons will 100% trade down if things fall the way I think they will. You're going to get some desperate teams that's going to come up for Lance or Fields, and they're going to snag. Falcons are going to get value. But overall, the Falcons, it makes sense to trade down if you want to get value, and then you can do a lot from there. Unless you think Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase is going to be like the motor of your offense, Super Bowl bound one day, key, greatest receiver of your history or something, then I'd trade down. As for trade up, I think the Cardinals, like Zach said, need to consider it just on the basis of there's a shot that those big cornerbacks are gone by the time 16 hits, so they may have something in place in case some of the corners start to fly off the board, they can hop up. Another one I've seen is the Jets. They like Elijah Vera Tucker a lot, and if he starts to slide down the board, the Jets may pounce and make a trade-up move. There's a lot of interesting ones you could do. I think there will be a couple surprise trade-ups, as there always is. We can't predict the draft, but overall, this draft's going to be fun, and I'm curious to see where all these quarterbacks lands. Another one, Denver. Denver going from 9 to 4 to get one of the quarterbacks is another real possibility, especially if you don't believe in Drew Lock. The GM that's in place right now did not draft Drew Lock. That's a first-year GM, and he could want his franchise quarterback. Something else to keep an eye on. What are your thoughts, Josh?
One thing, I don't really believe that I think they're gonna be giving Locke another year, and I don't really think that they're going to be getting a quarterback. Yes, there is news. I think that they're giving Locke a year in the system. But I do think who's trading up is the Detroit Lions, because you have to remember they have the first round picks for the Los Angeles Rams and their own picks for the next couple years. So you gotta keep that in mind. And also another thing is they are quarterback. Jared Goff is not going to cut it. I think that Jared Goff is going to be a transitional quarterback for whoever they draft in this year's draft. Now, another team I could see trading up is the Broncos. I don't believe that they're going to be going for 4 just because they don't have that trade capital. And I do believe that they're in a perfect spot to take a quarterback if Mac Jones falls or if Justin Fields falls. Or they could just go day 2, day 3 quarterback and get just as much value, just, a lower pick, who may not succeed as much as those first-round guys. But I still believe that another team would be the Cardinals. They get scared because they see corners flying off the board. And the Jets also seem like somebody because they really want Vera Tucker. So, and I also don't really get why Justin Fields is falling. He has 3 years of tape, and these guys who he's getting beat by have 1 year of tape, and one of them played for FCS subconference, not D1, D1 subconference. Yes, that's North Dakota State, but he only played a year. You can't really talk about stuff in a year's time. You just can't assess the player. Just like Mac Jones, he shot up draft boards for basically – he shot up because Alabama was doing well. But – you got to remember, he has a star-studded cast there, so I don't really get why Fields is falling. He's shown at Georgia and at Ohio State that he can be a quarterback in the NFL. He's just built different. So I don't even get why he's not pick right now. I feel like a team is going to get lucky and get Fields at 4 or 5. So good luck to the teams drafting and players before. Congratulations on getting into the NFL.
Okay, I'm gonna
A great
say
accomplishment.
I'm gonna say two more things. The Bears and the football team can trade up, and I think that they could trade up into the high rounds. They're gonna just have to give a lot away. Okay, but that was my final thoughts on that story. Well, this does it for the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, there was a lot of things that happened, not this week like news wise, but there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. We're going to be making some new videos, some new topics, most likely if our plan goes through, and you will see some really cool ones. Some to deal with the quarterback, some to deal with the running backs, and others just dealing with other positions of other players. So I think you'll guys enjoy that video, and I hope that you guys enjoy the draft. We might be streaming that day, so we don't know yet. It's a school night, so we don't know. But if they like the video, what do they do, Josh?
If you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button, punch that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell. You are a Frontline Football fan base. What is the Frontline Football fan base, you might be saying? Well, the Frontline Football fan base is some of the best fans on YouTube. We right now 63 of them. We're hoping sooner or later we can get up to 100, 1,000. But we love you guys being here. And we're getting a lot of views, thankfully, because it's actually amazing having a bigger audience, because then we get to share this with you guys, and you guys get to be a part of the Frontline Football fan base. You have to every single week on what's happening in the news. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell, because sometimes YouTube does not tell you about videos that we are producing. So don't forget to hit that bell and hit that like button, so then this video gets shared to more people, so then more people can join the Frontline Football phase. But I hope you guys are doing the Frontline Football Kindness Challenge of the week, and I have been Josh for Frontline Football. I just have one more thing to say. Like always, check it's plugs.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and those places for social media updates. Links will be in the description. As always, draft is getting close, and it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. This will be the last video before the draft. We could have a totally different mindset going into next Tuesday. Crazy stuff is going to happen. Where are these quarterbacks going? What's going to happen with the Falcons, the Dolphins, all the fun stuff. We're here to cover it. We'll be back here next week for post-draft coverage, and we'll see you guys then.
See ya.